XYZ Photon Dragon!
What is going on, YouTube? We have leaks for the newest mini box coming out probably next week before KC Cup. That should be exciting. Photon of Galaxy. I know people on Twitch chat have been excited for Photons. And just briefly looking at some of the cards in here. PDS, this box is kind of insane.
Yeah, no, just from the URs and SRs. This might be a box, you just go through one time, but you're going to get a lot of powerful utility cards. So that's really, really good.
There you go. So perfect place to start. Let's start with the URs that we have. Of course, we have the main anime boss monster, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Level 8 Dragon Effect monster. You can special summon this card from your hand by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack. During the battle step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can target that opponent's monster, banish both this card in the field and that target, return those banished monsters to the field at the end of the battle phase. And if you banish an XYZ monster, this card gains 500 attack for each material it had when it was banished. Looks like it is a permanent increase in that attack. We're probably not going to see this, are we?
Yeah, this card, it's just like... So when you remove an XYZ monster from the field, it's gonna detach all the materials with it. Yep. So it's kind of like an anti-XYZ XYZ monster. So that was its purpose in the anime, because the guy Kaito, he's a numbers hunter. So he's after those XYZ monsters.
I'm here to
So this is just
XYZ.
the blue eyes of the Zexler era.
Right. So,
but how good is it? There's always gonna be those guys playing their Galaxy Eyes deck, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be that impactful to the meta. Actually, I don't think it will have an impact at all. I'll just say it outright.
Yeah. Maybe with some skills from the character, but not on its own, though.
Yeah.
But the next one, though, talking about impact on the metagame, Abyss Dweller. Holy crap. Attribute Water, rank 4. 2 rank 4s, generic. Sea Serpent monsters, XYZ. While this card has a material attached that was originally water, all water type monsters you control gain 500 attack points. Not a big deal. But more importantly, once per turn, quick effect. Detach one material from this card. Your opponent cannot activate any card effects in their graveyard this turn. Wow.
Yeah, that is a really insane effect. And it's basically good against
everything.
Everything. So So we take a look at the meta. So what does it do against Noble Knights? Against Noble Knights, it's gonna stop all of the spell cards in the graveyard from re-equipping.
Oh my god.
It's gonna stop, it stops the trap card, until Noble Arms are needed once again. It's gonna stop the XYZ from floating. So it's gonna do a lot against Noble Knights. Against Blue Eyes, what does it do against... Oh, I'm sorry. What does it do against Blue Eyes? It's going to stop the stones. So the stones aren't going to be able to summon anything. They're just going to, they just go to the grave and they're not going to be able to activate their effects. I think that's the only impact it has against Blue Eyes. Obviously they won't be able to banish.
Right.
So yeah. And then against Desperado, it honestly doesn't do too much against Desperado. The Desperado is not going to get its effect when it's sent to the graveyard. And if they have Malignant Fortress in the grave, they won't be able to resolve it. But not the most impactful card in that matchup. Against Thunder Dragons, it's going to outright I think it basically...
stop everything it does.
Yeah, it's going to stop their strategy quite a lot. Obviously, they're still going to be able to summon the Levianeer. But all of their effects are going to be relying on being... they will get their effects if they get banished, but... the effects that trigger when they synchro or when they tribute summon, they're just not going to get them. So that is pretty good. And then we'll just throw it in there, Gokis. Against Gokis, it's also pretty good because they're not going to be able to float anymore. So you're just going to be able... Yeah. So it is a very strong monster. And usually you don't even make it with water monsters. That boost effect is only relevant in water decks. So...
Yeah.
we're going to see the return of that... that water deck. You know, they
Oh,
finally have a
the
decent,
sharks, yeah,
yeah, the shark
decent
deck.
first deck, yeah, that'll be exciting to see them. No,
Yeah,
I mean
this is a very
anything that can make 2 level 4s turn 1. Just set up your board, make this. Your opponent can't set up their board, and then you OTK them in the follow-up turn. So I think
yes.
this card's going to be seeing home in pretty much all the decks.
Yeah, this is a turn 1 XCs that a lot of decks have been looking for.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So
Yeah.
really glad to see something this powerful, arguably the most powerful XCs to come out. So it'll be exciting to see where that goes. Next one we have is a Photon Thrasher. Level 4 warrior. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand while you control no monsters. Cannot attack if you control other monsters. Alright, so just XC's material, pretty much.
Yeah, it's I really like this card because it is a light monster as well. So it's gonna let you go into your Photon, you know, your Paladynamo, I'm sorry. Your Starliege Paladynamo. It's gonna let you go into your Bujin Tsukiyomis. So it's a really nice little extender. I don't think it's gonna really see play at the moment, but we'll see.
I think if this sees play, it'll be in something very special. You know how like Infernity has specific cards being played to get like it's just big OTK strategy. It'll probably play in something like that.
Yeah. The other reason I like this card is because you don't need to rely on your opponent having something. So you know, like a lot of those Cyber Dragon kind of cards, they need to have a monster on their field. This one is just if you have no monsters on your field. So you can even do a turn 1. So you can use it for XCs, you can use it for synchros.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It has a lot of uses. Even tributes, if you want to use it for tributes, you can do it for that.
Cards like this are always interesting too because of skills like level duplication, augmentation, those kinds of skills. You know, you bring this guy out, you have another, you know, something that's level 6 in hand that could be brought out. Could see some play there, but we'll have to see. Again, you'd have to open it, right? Because you have to control nothing to actually make use of its effect.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's get into the SRs here. We've got Photon Strike Bouncer. Pretty crazy card. 2 level 6 generic Xyz monster once per turn during either player's turn. So another quick effect for you. When a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can detach an Xyz material from this card, negate the effect, and if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Probably going to be 500 here in Duel Links.
Yeah. So this card is really, really good. It's a negate, generic negate. You know, you can end on it with 2 what is it? The dragon roars, I believe.
Dragon roars, yeah.
Yeah, dragon roar, dragon hawk. So Thunder Dragons really like this card. It's gonna be a nice Xyz to end on turn 1 instead of the force focus.
Right.
You can have access to the Photon Strike Bouncer.
Yeah, for the most part, this is probably going to replace Forward Focus. The only real difference is activated effects versus just effects. But activated effects are usually the ones that you really want to get negated. Yeah.
So another thing to note is that this one only prevents them if they are activated on the field. So, yeah. But yeah, this card is really, really strong. I think that it'll definitely have a place in the meta. But I think so far, from what we're seeing, this looks like it's a box that you might only have to go into one run through, but yeah, we'll see.
Hey, listen, some people I know they're suffering from that Book of Moon withdrawal, so they're liking the sound of that. Yes. Next thing we have up is a Ghost Trick Alucard. Generic level 2 level 3 monsters. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target face down or face up rather. Sorry, Ghost Trick monsters or any face down defense position monsters for attacks except this one. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 1 set card your opponent controls, destroy that target. You can only use this effect of Ghost Trick Alucard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of the Ghost Trick card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand.
Yeah, so this card is really interesting. Not really for the Ghost Trick strategy. It is a good card in that, but it's a generic Xyz monster that lets you pop back row. So one thing to note is because it says destroy that target, if they actually chain the card that you set or the card that you target, it won't go to the graveyard. So let's say you target Fiendish Chain and they Fiendish Chain something, then the Fiendish Chain will not be destroyed. So that is yeah. So the other effect, it actually lets you return another Ghost Trick Alucard. So you could like infinitely loop them as well if you really wanted to, but you know, it's just it's like a little cute thing.
I'm thinking of the decks currently in the metagame. I can't really think of anything that makes rank 3s, but rank 3s are not hard to make, right? We have Psychic Wielder in the game, so and of course the Ghost Tricks themselves. If we get any other cool little Ghost Tricks in this box, potentially could be something there.
Yeah, Magnets probably just the only deck that
Yeah,
comes to
Magnets,
mind.
yeah.
Magnets.
Next up, we have another amazing card, in my opinion, Steel Swarm Roach. Dark rank 4, 2 rank 4s, monsters generic, again, lots of generic XCs here. During either player's turn, when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can detach a material from this card, negate the special summon, and if you do, destroy it.
Yeah, this card, this card is going to, it's kind of confusing for a new player. So it only negates the special summon of cards that do not start chain links. So to give you an example of that, it's going to be something like Cyber Dragon, something like Chaos Sorcerer. Another example is going to be an XC summon that doesn't start a chain link. A Synchro summon that's not going to start a chain link.
Mm-hmm.
But for instance, something like, let's say they use polymerization. You cannot use Steel Swarm Roach to stop polymerization because it does not. It has to stop, you know, the card itself. It doesn't actually know like what you're going to summon off polymerization. So it's,
right.
Yeah.
Think of it as whatever the card that's being summoned has to be the one summoning. It can't be another card that summons it. It has to be the one summoning itself.
Yeah. So another example is the Dragon Hawk from Thunder Dragons. You know, it's going to bring out like a dragon roar. You can't stop that. It has to like summon it itself, basically, for the Steel Swarm Roach to negate it.
And you said it was called an inherent summon, right? In the TCG?
Yeah, it's not really a term, but it's like what most players most players are going to call it.
Right. The other thing to keep in mind as well is even though that is the rule, remember this card specifically says level 5. So even though it would technically stop an XCs, because XCs use ranks, Roach will not be the one stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
But future cards that do something of a similar effect will. But still, really exciting. Level 5 or higher monster. That stops quite a few things in the Thunder Dragon strategy and the Blue Eye strategy. And another generic rank 4. I mean, this is probably going to see quite a bit of play, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to be able to stop the summon of that Blue Eye Synchro. It's really strong.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh god, can you imagine Ritual Beast can get in here? Let's go.
Yo, Ritual Beast? Like, not today, boy.
Oh man, so it'll be exciting to see how he does. Next up we have number 70, Malignant Sin. Again, generic, 2 rank 4s. Let's see the pattern here, boys, in this little mini box. Once per turn, detach a material from this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, banish it until your opponent's next standby phase. And it looks like no restrictions on attacking or anything like that. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you can make this card gain attack 300 attack, looks like permanent. And if it does, increase its rank by 3. So just like a little quick banish, try to push for lethal.
Yeah, exactly. So like if they have, you know, Desperado, and you're like, oh man, they're gonna pop my monsters. You just get rid of it and then try to push.
Yeah, no, that's pretty nice. Not gonna lie, that's literally you summon banish and then you get to swing with a 2400 body, potentially lethal. So I'm sure this will see play as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good generic XCs. It's not even like 2 insects. It's just 2 level 4s.
Yeah.
And then the other effect, it might be relevant when we get cards like you know, like the Gaia Charger, something like that.
Right.
But they have ones for bigger XCs, you know, like rank 10s. But we're not at that point yet. But at some point, that might be somewhat relevant.
There you go. Next up, we have Photon Lizard, another Photon cards. You can tribute this card, add 1 level 4 or lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. So already looks like you'll probably have to use up your normal summon for this. Probably not going to see play, huh?
Yeah, it's not the greatest card.
Yeah.
Just like one of those throw-in super rares.
Right. Next up, we have Photon Vanisher. Light level 4, warrior type. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or Galaxy monster. cannot attack the turn it's special summoned. You can only special summon Photon Vanishers once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand, and Xyz monsters that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect to banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. That feels spicy, you know?
Yeah, so you can go Thrasher and then summon Vanisher, and then you're gonna be able to get your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then so Thrasher is 2,000, more than 2,000 attack, and then Vanisher is more than 2,000 attack. So you'd be able to bring out your Photon Dragon by tributing 2 monsters with 2,000 more attack. So that's like the little combo that they want you to do. But the other effect, you can actually overlay those 2 guys, and then anything that Xyz would kill is going to get banished instead. So pretty interesting effects there.
Yeah, stop those windows,
So if you're going for that Photon deck, you're probably going to need... It's going to be expensive, though, to be honest. You're going to need, like, a bunch of Thrasher. I would not advise it, but, some guys are Kaito fans. They want it really bad. So.
I mean, it is cool that we're getting more of those, if this material is used. I think Star 6 Terra have had something like that, where their materials gave their Xyz monsters stuff. So it's cool to see this mechanic kind of start to come in more and more. I like we said earlier, I don't think Galaxy Eyes is going to be too crazy. But hey, we'll see if people can do some stuff with this.
Yeah.
Now we've got some Gaga support. Gaga Head. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing as a level 4 monster. When this card is normal summoned, you can target up to 2 Gaga monsters in your graveyard, except Gaga Head. Special summon them. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except by an Xyz summon that uses only Gaga monsters as materials. An Xyz monster that was summoned using this card in the field as Xyz material gains this effect. If it is Xyz summon, draw 1 card.
Yeah, this card is interesting. I think it's more of a follow-up play. I don't know if it'll see play in the Onomont deck. It might, but I think their current strategy, especially with the next card, it'll be... I don't think they're going to need to rely on this because it doesn't really do anything going first, but they might see play. It might see play as like a one-of, so that's good because, that's what we've been saying. You probably needs to go through this box once.
Hey, and listen, the automat skill, one-ofs, they love one-ofs. They can search
exactly. They just put it back in the deck if they break it, so it's nice.
Speaking of the next one, oh lordy, how do I even say this? Dwarf Go 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 Glove. Okay, level 4 rock. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Zubaba or Gaga monster from your hand. If you control a Go 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 or Do monster, except Dwarf Go 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 Glove while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use the effect of Dwarf Go 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 Glove once per turn.
Yeah, so this card is amazing for Onomont decks. It's going to let you special summon a guy from your hand to go into an Xyz summon. And then the beauty of this card is it's going to summon itself from the graveyard, and then it's going to get banished when it leaves the field. But if you use it as an Xyz material, it'll go right back to the graveyard. So you can keep doing that effect over and over again.
Just like the Canadia effect. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I like that a lot.
No, that's super awesome. The Automat deck is looking kind of nice, especially with the best Dueler being a really good turn 1 for them. I think this deck's going places. And
they also have access to the Photon Strike Bouncer with the Gaga sister.
Oh, so. Yeah. There you go. Not bad, not bad. Next 2 are kind of like generics. This one I think was in the selection box, right? United We Stand. The equipped monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. Probably going to be irrelevant. I mean, you could search it with the Noble Knights, Glory of the Noble Knights, I guess. But yeah, it's not too crazy on that.
I mean, this card was limited at one point in the TCG, so it has to be good, right? Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hey, 800 attack is a lot. Listen.
But it's past its prime, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's not enough. Maybe.
But it's an iconic old school card. I mean, at worst, you're doing your Igami events. You can make your guys bigger now, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. It's not really gonna see play.
It counts for itself. It's 800 at base, right? 24 at max. Worth. Let's go.
This
And
might
then,
be the power of the Guardians of the XYZ era.
Oh no, dude. Next up we have Hammershot. Normal spell, destroy one face-up attack position monster with the highest attack. If it's a tie, you get to choose. I mean, listen, it doesn't target PDS. It's amazing, right? This should be the best spell ever. But why is it not?
if you got a Duel or Hammershot, that's a FTK.
Yo,
you're beating every deck in the game. But no, I mean it's a 1-for-1 removal. It might see some play, but the problem is we have a lot of floaters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's just a lot of the problem cards that Yu-Gi-Oh kind of has nowadays isn't attack points. It's, you know, like Winda, her attack points aren't the scary parts. Her floating is the most annoying part. You know, the Blue Eyes Synchro monster is the most annoying card they have, but they're probably gonna have another Blue Eyes on board, and the Hammershot would just get redirected to that. So it's just another one of those cards where it came out a year ago, 2 years ago, awesome. Otherwise, unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit past its prime, but maybe it'll see some play.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that's like, oh, this card's kind of nice.
I'm gonna put this in my side deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys, so these are the confirmed new cards from the box. Please note that there are a few missing cards still, but they're probably cards that are already in the game's database, but just haven't been revealed in the leaks yet. So do expect more to come from the official announcement from the box. Of course, as soon as we know what cards are going to be in there, we'll let you guys know. PDS, overall thoughts on the box?
Just from what we have right now, I think it's going to be a very good box just to go through one time to get some of your XC staples.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you get some powerful cards. If you want to play Photons, I mean, they're in there. I wouldn't advise it just from what we're seeing here, but you know.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely. I'll be going through it at least once just to pick up my XC's monsters.
I'm right there with you, man. Like the Abyss Dweller, listen, that feels way too good to give up. And then yeah, the Roach, the Bowser, the Sin, like all these just seem so good situationally and just generically. Like, go through it once, pick up the staples because they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, and I hope the once we get the end cards and the R cards, maybe we'll get some other strategies
Ghost
build
tricks
out
and
of
stuff.
here.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is going to be it from us here over at DLE. Please, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the Twitch, follow the YouTube, subscribe. That's super good for us. And for future updates and future leaks, we will be posting those here on the YouTube. All right, peace out, guys.
Peace.